Yo, 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 what is going on, everyone? I am Frankie Gons. We got Chesko here. Chesko,
What's up, everyone?
how are we doing today, Chesko?
I'm good. Hanging in there. How about you?
Hanging in there, or is it pain?
Oh, I mean, the pain's forever, regardless, but, just keep going. Roll the punches.
Pain is forever as a Jets fan, and we get it. We're both diehard Jet fans, but listen, guys, this is going to be a refreshing podcast here on Jets Banter. We're going to come at this Jets news from a different angle. Like, listen, Chesko and I, we're both diehard Jet fans, all right? And we get it. This has been a cursed franchise, and we live it every day just like you guys, just like the passionate Jet fan. But we're coming at it from a different angle. We're going to break some stuff down. Chesko is awesome at breaking down film with these college quarterbacks. He's the X's and Cheskos kind of guy. Best ever. He's going to be breaking stuff down. He's going to analyze things. I'm a big picture guy. I'm a Sunday Jet fan guy, and we look at big picture. So we have an awesome blend between the two of us. And yeah, I mean, our main goal is we're going to give you guys facts. We are, of course, going to have our opinions and our takes, but we want to give you guys the facts and not just come about it from like an opinionated standpoint of like, oh, why the Jets suck or why they're doing this bad. Like, yeah, we get it, but we're going to give you the facts. We're going to give our opinion, and hopefully we give you guys the opportunity and the information to make your own opinions as well based on those facts that you might not be getting elsewhere. So we got a lot of cool ideas of what we're going to do in the season. There's a lot of optimism right now.
Scary thought.
It's insanely scary as a Jet fan. But hey, listen, we don't have this optimism all the time. We're not drafting at number 2 all the time with a coach and a GM that we actually trust a little bit. So we got some cool stuff. And listen, that's what we're gonna do on this episode. We're gonna talk about what to do at
number 2. So, a lot of ideas what we could do at number 2 here. The first option we'll get into is staying number 2 with Sam Darnold as the quarterback. I don't love the idea of staying at 2 and keeping Sam. I don't love the idea of keeping Sam in general, but if you're going to stay with Sam and stay at number 2, I think it's just a recipe for disaster because the Jets have too many holes, and there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to trade up to number 2, and they're going to give a pretty hefty haul to get to number 2. You don't draft number 2 every year, So you have to have a lot of holes to fill. You want to keep Darnold. I don't agree with it, but you know what? I understand it. Trade back.
And the one thing I agree 100%, man. And like Sam Darnold, I think every Jet fan agrees. Like, guy's an absolute beauty. He's like, he does all the right things. It's just like, dude, it's just so inconsistent on Sundays.
He's broken. We broke him.
I'm just thinking back at I forgot what game it was. At one point in a post game interview, he just looked at he got a question and said like, right now I'm just not playing well enough to be a starting quarterback in this league. And like, I appreciate his honesty, but like, I need my quarterback to like be a savage out there. Like, I want him to be confident. Donald's broken. Like, yo, the Jets failed him. Like, everyone knows. It's not like this is news. It's like, I think if you bring in a brand new coach, a brand new system, dude, this would be his 3rd different offense in 3 years. Yeah. And that's just a lot to ask a kid. I think it's just better off for the Jets. You get a clean slate.
And for him. To trade him out. Just get him to a new system, new team, new area. He needs a fresh start. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to Salah. It's not fair to Douglas. You got to get him out of here, man.
I agree. And like, I never thought I'd bring up Mark Sanchez in the podcast now. But he said something that I actually didn't think about prior. It's just unfair to him. If you throw him out there as your starting quarterback, and hopefully, God willing, you have fans in the stadium. Guy has 2 3-and-outs in a row. Sanchez 100% right. That guy's getting booed immediately. And you can't blame Jet fans for it.
No, you can't. I mean, and also, you got to think about it from this perspective also. This is Salah's first year of the team. You're going to bring in Sam Darnold in his last year of his contract. And then next year, you got to figure out if you want to extend him or not. It's not fair to give a guy, like I'm talking about Salah here, a quarterback for 1 year and say, let's see what happens. He needs a fresh start with a quarterback that he believes in, whether that's through the draft or through a trade. Give him a guy who we know will be here, 3 years, a rookie contract, a Watson, a Wilson, whatever you want to do. But you got to give him more than a guy who's going to be here just a year, maybe more, extend him. It's too much up in the air for a guy who's had all this hype behind him about being a great leader of men, as they say.
Dude, I completely agree. I think it's the fair thing to do with everyone involved. It just makes sense. It's like, Darnold, we love you, man. You did everything right off the field. It just didn't happen on the field. Like, and that's my biggest issue with him is just like you'll have, call it 10 drives. 8 of them are 3 and outs, basically. One of them he has a sick play where it's like, oh my God, that could be the Sam Darnold. Then all of a sudden it's one play where it's like, why did you throw it into triple coverage with your eyes closed across the field? Why are you throwing
off your back foot across the field into 3 defenders? Like, what are you doing?
So I think you and I both agree then that like keeping Darnold is not the move. Let me ask you this question: Would you think about keeping Darnold and instead of staying at number 2, like you said, what about trading back and keeping
I like
Darnold?
Trading back, but let me start by saying this: if you stay number 2, there's only one pick. You take the best offensive lineman, Penei Sewell. He's being compared to Anthony Munoz, who might be the best tackle ever, and Orlando Pace. Like, what?
Just to clarify, you're saying if you're staying at 2 and Joe Douglas says we're keeping Darnold. Gotcha.
Right,
okay.
I do not think that's the right move. But if you do stay at 2 and you do keep Sam, that's the only pick to make. Now, I think if you keep Sam, you gotta trade back. I mean, I see maybe 3 places they could trade back into. Maybe 4 to the Falcons if they want to get Matt Ryan's heir apparent. Maybe 8 Carolina. If they want to get their quarterback, they're being connected to fields all over the place. And the only other team I could see moving up is maybe San Fran, because they're not too far deep in the draft either. Besides them, I don't see any other team drafting up into that spot.
I think too, if they decide to keep Darnold, which like we both said, like we both think that's a mistake, but if they decide to do that, whatever, you got to trade back. Like the Jets, and not even. It's less about like what you could even get for it from that perspective, or like in terms of who you could draft. It's more of like the Jets have so many holes. Like you have to trade.
If they stay number 2 and take Kyle Pitts, the worst
guy's the Pitts.
You can't draft a tight end number 2. I don't care if it's Antonio Gates, Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski. You cannot draft a tight end number 2. That's absolutely absurd.
I actually think if the Jets did that, there would be a plane flying again saying fire Joe Douglas. I think this fan base would literally they can't. I think Joe Douglas and Saleh are smart enough. I think they know like
there's so many guys out there you could grab instead of him that would make so much more sense. Even a Jamar Chase, I can understand. I mean, people sleep on him because he didn't play this year, but still, like, people forget last year when it was him and Justin Jefferson on opposite sides of the field, he was the better receiver. And Justin Jefferson was arguably the best rookie receiver in the NFL this year. Right? So this guy's a can't miss. Can't miss. To me, the only can't misses in this draft are Trevor Lawrence, Jamar Chase, and Penei Sewell. Besides that, there's no other can't misses. So Jamar Chase at 2, I can understand, but to me, if you're staying at 2, the pick has to be Penei Sewell.
And you're still saying, though, even before, like your choice, instead of even drafting him, the O-lineman, you would say you would still prefer to actually trade back.
You have to trade back. I agree.
I totally agree. All right. So now we add on another. This is the great thing about the Jets. Like they have so many options, and it's like it's refreshing to hear. It's like you could do something with number 2 in a totally different light if, let's say, for example, you make a trade for a guy like Watson,
for sure,
maybe for a guy like Wilson, and just to let the viewer know, the listener know, we're going to break out all the available quarterbacks. Is obviously like, I mean, that's the main thing here. We're going to go from less likely to most likely. So I guess for trades, the less likely one, just to throw out of the way, is Wilson. I think
Russell Wilson didn't have us on his list at all.
No.
But it's a cheaper option than Watson in a lot of different ways. He would cost a lot less trade wise. His contract's a lot, better. But I don't see it happening. I really don't.
I agree. I don't even if he wanted to come here, I think it's a little bit different with his age and everything there. It's like I don't even know if I would even. He doesn't move the needle all too much for me. Only because I know Watson's also there.
Yeah, I mean, it moves the needle a lot. It moves the needle a lot for me just because he's a top 5 quarterback, top 3 quarterback.
Knowing that
easily.
Watson's, I would take money away. I guess for right now, I want Watson on the Jets.
I'm not a Watson. I guess here's the thing: Watson's a great quarterback. He's really a great quarterback, probably top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, 100%.
But I know I'm one of the rare Jets fans who's going to say this. I don't want him on the Jets.
And
I'll explain why, but you go ahead.
No, you go. I want to hear your take on this.
Okay. I get it. Watson, he won national championship in college. He has all the talent. He's great outside the pocket. Makes the most out of what he has on the Texans. But what people are sleeping on is the Jets have almost every position on the field is a hole.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
A hole. So you have to fill all these spaces on the field, and in 2 years, he's going to take up $40 million in cap space.
Yeah, so I actually have the numbers up right now. 2021, so this upcoming season, Jets have what? Call it 80
million around, give or take.
Around there.
Before more cuts are going to come.
Right, could change a little bit here and there, but just call it roughly 80 million available cap space. In 21, Watson's going to cost basically 16 million against the cap,
Not
which
bad
is
at all.
awesome.
Take that right now.
And every Jet fan will probably hearing that like, no, give me Watson. Yeah, 2022, 40.5 million.
Right.
You can't build a football team around that.
Especially when we have 2 guard spots open. We need a number 1 receiver, a running back, unless you like Josh Adams, which no. We need 3 linebackers.
More.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's if you hope CJ Mosley could actually walk on a field this year.
Yeah, I mean, he played 1 game in 2 years, so who knows what he's gonna be like. We need a corner, maybe 2. I mean, I like Bryce Hall. Don't get me wrong, but he's not there yet.
No.
It's his first year.
So no, I'm happy you brought up all these holes about the Jets because part of my brain, I agree, dude. Like this money is insane, and I know the cap's going to go up after all this COVID stuff. Fans can come back and they could actually increase the cap. So I guess the 40 on a bigger cap, it hurts a little bit less
For sure.
But this is my whole thing about Watson, and it's more of a big picture Jets thing, and I'm seeing it in other New York teams, and I think that's why it's opening up my eye a little bit to this, where it's like the Jets right now. Or at least they had a major culture issue. Like their problem was, in my opinion, less about the product on the field, which was god awful anyway, but like more up top, like ownership didn't know what they were doing. Your GM before Douglas, they didn't know what they were doing. Coaching has been god awful, terrible. So it seems like right now ownership has kind of said like, all right, we're going to take a step back because we have a GM that we actually trust. They let the GM hire the coach that he actually trusts and let the coach hire his own coaching staff. And it seems like right now the Jets are making the right steps to fix their culture issue. And I think that goes a long way for players. But at the end of the day, if like you want to bring in an Allen Robinson or a Juju or a big name free agent, the way the Jets had to do it in the past, like for example, Le'Veon Bell, CJ Mosley, bring in a bigger name free agent, they had to overpay like crazy to get him.
Yep.
Because who wants to come to the Jets? So I think, you're paying a little bit of money for Watson, but then all of a sudden, the Jets, I'm cautiously optimistic to say they become an attractive team, but
They do.
you could actually have a guy saying like, whoa, the Jets are turning the corner a little bit here. Like, I think you're paying a lot of money for Watson, but I think it pays off with so many other people actually saying like, okay, the Jets aren't a laughingstock right now.
But my worry is Watson comes here, right? The Jets go 10-6, right? Maybe 9-7, 10-6. Sounds great, right? We know we're going to become the New York Texans. Watson, has he made it to AFC Championship yet? No.
You're right.
And that's on a rookie deal. No, you're 100%
So
now
right.
he starts making money, and we got all these holes to fill. I mean, do you see us being the Chiefs when we got 8-9 holes to fill? Unless we hit on every draft pick we have, and not to mention, if we trade for Watson, it might cost us 3 first-rounders, 4 first-rounders.
I'm thinking it's got to be at least 3 first-rounders
and
maybe
maybe
Quinnen
Williams, who had a breakout year, like one of the good pieces on defense. We're gonna trade away now.
No, they can't. The Jets literally have
It's just to me, I get it from the outside looking in. We're not looking deep. Watson makes sense. Makes your franchise legitimate.
Right.
But I want to build it the right way. Go to the draft.
And
find a guy you believe in. Build that way.
And I'll say this, and I mean, even Joe Douglas basically said it in that press conference they had earlier in the week, where it's like he wants to build it out. He's not going to throw out a big contract. He's not going to make a crazy trade like that. He's going to build it the right way. Mm-hmm. So it's fun talking about Watson and Wilson, but I think those options are less likely. I think the most likely thing is, and in my opinion, the more exciting thing is they're going to build it out through the draft. So,
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of options in the draft. So I guess we'll go from least likely to most likely. So who would you say the least likely scenario is? Who do they draft at number 2 for a quarterback?
The least likely, I mean, unless a trade comes, where they trade back, is Mac Jones for sure. Mac Jones, he's the best quarterback in the draft with throws under 15 yards. I mean, that's it. I mean, the arm talent is not there. I mean, he reminds you a lot of Chad Pennington.
I was just about to say, Chad Pennington comp. Best quarterback the Jets ever had.
I see Chad Pennington, accurate. Under 15 yards, he'll make all the throws. But would Chad Pennington succeed in today's NFL?
No.
Probably not.
God,
as much
no.
as we love him, and we're at, Hofstra for the Jets when they were doing their training camps, throwing out jerseys and footballs at him to get him signed. He was our guy, great, but not in this NFL where the deep ball is king. Look what all these great quarterbacks do. Russell Wilson throws the best deep ball in football.
Yeah.
Rodgers has a cannon. Mahomes throws a freaking 95-mile-an-hour fastball at his receiver's chest. I mean, this is the NFL today, and that's not going to make it. I mean, maybe in the right system, I can see Mac Jones going to New England and throwing 7-yard curl routes to Edelman all day and, making that work. But I just don't see it with the Jets right now. I don't see him being that fit. What do you think?
I think Mac Jones, to succeed in the NFL, he needs to go to listen, Alabama has the most NFL ready program of any college. He needs to go to a place like that. I agree. I think if he goes to a place like New England, and I hate saying that, I hope he doesn't, but he needs to go to a place that's set up, that has the right coaching there. I'm not saying Saleh isn't that coaching. It's just a different situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he could be a solid quarterback, but again, I don't think if you're at number 2, you're not taking Mac Jones.
Unless they trade back. Okay, or maybe San Fran comes up, take that. Maybe they give us a hole and a half because they believe in, a Fields or Zach Wilson. But
so let me ask you this. Let's say in a weird scenario, the Jets trade back and they end up drafting Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
You start him week 1 on the Jets? Is he NFL ready? That's my other concern.
I guess you got to say
on the Jets.
You got to say who he looks. I mean, who else are you going to start? I mean, you have to expect that
they don't even have a backup.
They're going to trade Darnold. I mean, it's not fair to Darnold. It's not fair to the rookie quarterback coming in. They're going to be taking questions on each other. No, it's not fair.
And that's the other thing. Jets don't even have a back. That's the other, I know it sounds a little weird to bring up a backup quarterback, but it's not like the Jets have a veteran guy on their roster right now. Joe Flacco's on the team. They literally don't have.
I think they'll address that at the end of the free agency.
Right.
But I'm just saying, how much money they have left over.
But I think that's just another layer on top of why Mac Jones is not the guy. Because they don't have a guy even yet that they can actually groom him, that they trust, that knows the Jets organization.
Right.
They don't have that. So
after Mac Jones, I guess the next guy who's the least likely guy to be a Jet would probably be Trey Lance.
Oh, Trey Lance.
Listen, I get it. When you look at the guy, he looks like a star. I mean, big body, fast.
When did he look like a star? What year?
I know.
What year was it?
I know. He's played one game.
One game.
I know. This year he played one game. I know.
If I'm drafting a kid to play quarterback, you need reps. Mm-hmm. And listen, not his fault. It sucks. Bad situation. I get it.
Right.
Guy missed a full year of. If the Jets get Trey Lance, I'm gonna lose it, bro.
Yeah.
I will lose it. I'd rather Mac Jones. I'll say this. I'd rather Mac Jones over Trey Lance. I don't want a kid coming out of college that didn't get reps.
I know.
And again,
in college, he only averaged 18 pass attempts a game.
18.
He wasn't passing that much. I don't know if he was tucking it and running because there's not that much film on him. And all the film you see on him are throwing the guys wide open or goes through one read and he starts running.
I was just about to say, I feel like I watched a little bit of film on him. You're 100% right. One read, he would wait a half a second, wasn't there, tuck and run.
Boom.
Tuck and run. And a lot of times he would stare down that read, wait for him to. There was no anticipation. In his throws.
Can't. And everyone out there, when you watch highlights of these quarterbacks, take it with a grain of salt because college football, everyone's wide open.
Right.
All right. When you look at these college quarterbacks, the greatest tell to see if they're going to be good or not is the anticipation throws, throwing guys open, that kind of thing, and you don't see that at all with Trey Lance anywhere.
And my other thing about Trey Lance, and I want your opinion on this, is so maybe even outside of Trey Lance, and then if you can just transition it to how you think about this particular thing for Trey Lance also. Mm-hmm. How much do you weigh competition in different conferences in college football?
Not too much because there's been too many examples of guys coming into the league.
Sure, that's fair enough.
Carson Wentz, same college. There's so many different guys you could throw out there that didn't have much competition and still made it work just on talent alone. So I'm not saying he can't overcome all of this. I just don't like it for the Jets and what they're gonna run. Mike LaFleur's system. And he's too unproven to me. He's way too unproven.
It's too raw. I think that's a guy that I think it's a player that you draft that you don't mind sitting for a year, 2 years. You have to groom a guy like Trey
But
Lance.
he could prove us all wrong, because look at a guy like Josh Allen. Went to Wyoming, had accuracy issues coming out, and he made it work. But he was in the perfect system for him in Buffalo, and I just don't think the Jets can be that system for him, to make it work for him.
And my big thing is Josh Allen had reps in college. Like he had a full season more. I mean, I think Trey Lance could be a very good quarterback in this league. We're not taking anything away from him. I just think we're saying for the Jets right now, it doesn't make sense. You need to groom him. He's a little bit too raw. There's too much going on there, and the Jets. It's not a good fit for the Jets in my opinion right now.
I actually think he's going to be a Saint. If you're going to tell me right now, I think Trey Lance is going to be a Saint. I think to me, he's Taysom Hill, but with he's more of a quarterback.
Has Drew Brees officially retired yet?
I don't know.
So do you think that changes at all if Drew is still there or not? If they can groom him?
I think it's better. I mean, imagine bringing in Trey Lance with 1 year under Brees.
Oh, right. That's what I'm saying.
This kid could be a stud. Sean Payton's a genius.
100%.
So he's gonna make it work. I think he's gonna be a Saint, man. I know talking a lot of clout anywhere.
No.
But I think Sean Payton moves in silence and violence, and he's gonna bring him in. I really see that happening. I'd be surprised. How about that? I'd be surprised if he's not a Saint. That's how perfect I think he is for the Saints.
I listen. I'm with you. So I guess we could both agree Trey Lance. I think I might even debate that's the least likely.
You think so? I don't know.
I
think Mac Jones is really not gonna
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But you know who's a little bit more likely? Guy had a beautiful, beautiful game against Clemson that everyone just seems to forget. Can we bring up my boy Justin Fields a little bit?
All right, Justin Fields. All right.
What's the Chesco take on him?
I like Fields. I think he has a lot of upside. I really do. I think he could be really good in this league in the right system for him, like every other quarterback. I mean, he throws a great deep ball.
Phenomenal.
I don't know what happened against Northwestern Indiana though. That's what worries me. Why? What happened there? Why were those games so much worse than the other ones? What happened?
I think at least my thing with Justin Fields, just like his physical nature,
he's a beast. He's a beast. He's a beast.
Dude.
He's a beast.
But he's athletic.
He's real athletic. He reminds me. I think his upside is Watson, which is unbelievable. Yeah,
really.
Yeah,
I was thinking like Cam Newton, not like today's Cam Newton. He's woke now, but
no. I saw that comp too, Cam Newton, and that's like
just his physical build.
He's so much more accurate in the pocket than Cam ever was.
Yeah,
so much more.
You know what my thing about Justin Fields, and I want your opinion on this too, is like I feel like Fields was just like he would stare down his receivers and he was late.
He holds the ball.
Yeah, he's late.
Long time.
He's late on a lot of routes. He gets in a lot of trouble there. And what scares me about the Jets with Justin Fields, like if he has that problem in college where obviously it's easier defensive, it's not like the Jets, again, right now have a stud wide receiver that's going to be open. So if he's taking that much time on open receivers now, imagine being on the Jets where your receivers, as it stands right now, are basically garbage.
Yeah, I mean, they have to improve it. I mean, all the cap space, they have to go get a guy like, Allen Robinson, Kenny Galladay, even Juju.
Right.
But you can't count on that for sure.
But I'm just saying, that's just a bad problem to have is like a lack of anticipation, I guess, is a word for it.
Right? When he holds the ball too long, it looks like he doesn't know what the defense is.
Right.
Like he can't read the defense, which is a scary, I mean, he could be taught anything, and he has all the talent in the world to make up for it. And he could be a great quarterback. I mean, would I be upset the Jets drafted Justin Fields? No, because I trust Joe Douglas. I must see
100%.
something, But yeah, I wouldn't be upset. It's your guy, right? You want Fields?
No, so he's not my guy. I just think people are just. I feel like people are just very quick to write him off a little bit right now. I feel like after that Clemson game, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Justin Fields! He actually might go number one." Like my question to like all these big guys are doing this is like, so. One game against Clemson is able to catapult him that much, and then another bad game after that, it's like now all of a sudden everyone's just like, nah, I'm out on Justin Fields. I just think people are a little bit too quick to assume.
I mean, this kid was just as highly touted out of high school as
Trevor Lawrence, right?
They were 1 and 1A,
right? And I think going into the season, they were still, I guess maybe not 1 and 1A, but maybe 1 and 2. And now all of a sudden, I feel like people are. What did what's his name?
Chris Sims.
Yeah, what do you have? Justin Fields is his 5th quarterback or 4th quarterback, something like that. Which like, listen, I get it. Maybe like he has some problems. I know a big problem of his kind of reminded me a little bit of Darnold in this sense, but like when he panics a little bit and he's getting tackled, he just throws the ball out there, throws some sick picks when he's in the grass, and it's just wild to me.
Crazy, which gets me nervous for sure. But if I just drafted him, I wouldn't be upset. I mean, and obviously, there's a lot of upside.
And my other question to you about this, and I guess it's probably going to be similar. I wouldn't imagine there's like a hypocrisy there. But if you're not too concerned about quarterbacks that are playing with less competition, do you put any merit into Justin Fields playing with better competition and more like bigger games, like national championship games, games against Trevor Lawrence? You put a lot of merit into that?
For sure, there's something to that. I mean, if you're playing on the biggest stage and you step up, that means something. That shows, you have moxie, you have poise, you have confidence in yourself if you're playing well. So there's definitely something to that. I mean, I don't put everything into that, but there's definitely something to that. I mean, it's definitely, a check in the right direction.
Right. Yeah. So for you, it kind of just checks a box. It's not something that's like gonna really move the needle all too much. It's just that you check a box that way. I guess another box that it checks, and I'm big into this, is like Fields is a tough dude.
Yeah,
he's a tough dude. I feel like
he's tough to take down in the pocket, man.
He's
a big boy.
He has the New York grit.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me when he stands in the pocket. I also get kind of like Big Ben vibes. He's tough to take down.
Absolutely,
he's tough to take down. Cam 2 is tough to take down. I kind of get Big Ben vibes. I think you come to the NFL today and he'll be like a Dak Prescott off the bat.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, I like that. You know what? I like that comp. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I could see that.
I could see off the bat Dak and his upside being as good as Watson. I think he has all the intangibles. If he could read a defense and fixes those little things, he could be off the charts. For sure.
Yeah, I didn't think about that comp. That's a solid. Yeah, I could see Dak for sure, man. Yeah. Physically looks like him a little bit too. Like sure. Just their style.
The way he stays in the pocket, strong, tall.
So when I was looking at the Fields film and watching some videos on that, what I was thinking was, how does a player like Fields potentially fit into a Shanahan LaFleur offense? Do they marry that way? Because I was having troubles like linking that.
I mean, it's so unique, the LaFleur and Shanahan type offense, that it's hard to tell. I mean, I'm sure it could work if I'm sure anything could work. This kid's just so talented. But who's to say? It might, maybe not. Maybe he's not maybe he doesn't love doing the play action.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like a lot of things was him in shotgun, and then just
when you think of college quarterbacks, what do you think of? Clap, snap the ball. First read's probably gonna be wide open. You don't go through progressions often, which is it's why it's tough to grade these guys sometimes.
Right, but I guess it was more of shotgun, little play action, sit in the pocket, and I feel like a LaFleur offense is gonna incorporate more of an outside play action, and then your quarterback's rolling out. And like, how is Fields throwing on the run? Is he accurate? Like, what's his thing about throwing on the run?
He's not great throwing on the run. He's not great. I mean, he can be better, and I think he will be better because he's going to develop and grow. But I don't see the Shanahan LaFleur offense creating a lot of on the run throws. So I don't think it's really going to be a huge issue. It's definitely going to happen. I mean, guys are going to chase him down. He's going to have to make those throws. But that's to be seen, to be seen.
No, I agree. And I think, obviously, that's the tough thing. And then I know we were just talking about it before, but, like, no pro days, things like that.
It's tough,
It is tough, but I guess that's the good thing about Fields is, like, he has film out there for very big games. Yeah. So I'm just very curious to see, like, and I guess that's what we're going to learn about Douglas is, like, how much he values, like, a big game like that, especially being, I guess it might be different too for other teams, but like a New York market team, like, I wonder how much they weigh a big game like that in a big market.
They're going to look at the film. They're going to see all the film. They're going to see everything. They're going to go through every read, every throw. Now, you know whose play action film is off the charts? My guy, Zach Wilson.
I love that.
Love Zach Wilson. Best quarterback in the country in play action. The best. Statistically, the best. He would fit this offense so perfectly. So perfectly. That's the guy. If I'm Joe Douglas right now, I'm taking Zach Wilson. I've been saying it since December 20th when the Jets won, but lost by beating the Rams.
Pain.
I knew after that, Zach Wilson was the next guy.
Right. And
it wasn't Fields. Zach Wilson is the guy. You look at this guy on the field, he's so confident, so poised, great arm. The arm talent off the charts.
I got to be honest with you. So let me just say this also for the listeners. Guys, we could all agree as Jet fans, like, you brought up the Rams game, like, yeah, they lost their chance of getting Trevor Lawrence. We're not even going to talk about him. He's a beautiful human being. His hair is tremendous. He would have been perfect in New York, but it is what it is. Jets didn't get him, so now we're on to Zach Wilson. Yep. So that's the extent of what we're going to talk about Trevor Lawrence on. That's about it. So I do agree. I was a little shocked. I went into the Zach Wilson stuff like a little bit like I heard like, oh, he's gotten a lot of traction lately, and I was like watching some videos on him and like, dude, sneaky surprised me, man. His arm, it's easy. Fast.
It's easy.
It's fast, but it
fluid.
Looks calm. It's it's very nice.
The one word that jumps out at me when I watch Zach Wilson tape, fluidity.
Yeah.
He's just so fluid, natural. A couple days after the Jets beat the Rams, I was just trying to find as much Zach Wilson stuff as I possibly could. And no big name analysts were really talking about him until I think it was Daniel Jeremiah I saw. And there was 5 words he had to describe Wilson. And I was like, wow. He said the Zach Wilson was twitchy, loose, natural, easy, and explosive.
Twitchy.
Please.
Twitchy, good thing or bad
Twitchy,
thing?
good thing.
Twitchy best?
Yeah. Good
Love.
thing, for sure.
Love that. I'm all in for Twitchy.
I'll take that right now. And then you compare him to Aaron Rodgers. Please?
Yeah.
Please?
Read those 5. Read them one more time.
Twitchy, loose, natural, easy, and explosive.
Easy, that's what I'm saying.
Fluid.
I agree, man. The only thing that kind of, and maybe this is just me being like overthinking it, and call me out on it if that's the case. And this is more of an opinionated thing. There's no number to it, but I feel like he gets a little cute and cocky sometimes.
Oh, he trusts his arm way too much,
like,
which I love though.
No,
I
but
love that in a way.
I love the fact that like if you watch his stuff, and like sure saw it plenty of times, like he throws with so much anticipation. He throws like when receivers aren't even like close to their break.
Yes.
And I think that's a great thing for a young quarterback, but it could, if you go into it with too big a head and you do that in the NFL and make a few mistakes, like that could be a dangerous game to play.
But it's definitely fixable.
And I think a Shanahan offense will prevent stuff like that from happening too.
He's going to have a lot of easy throws. I mean, look at the easy throws they got to Debo and Kittle and San Fran. I mean, it's going to be... he's going to have a lot of easy throws to get him into rhythm. I think this is the perfect offense for him. When I was looking through his tape, mechanics, check. Anticipation, check. The deep ball, phenomenal.
Good deep ball? You like his deep ball?
My goodness.
Could you compare, because that's what a lot of people say about Justin Fields, his deep ball accuracy, his arm strength. Compare that to Fields for us, can you? Like, who would you say has, I'll word it this way. Who has a more powerful arm down the field? The most powerful arm?
I feel like when Fields throws to deep ball, he loads up.
Yeah.
Wilson, it just comes out.
It just goes.
It just flies.
And he's accurate. He's accurate, man.
Oh, very accurate.
So accurate.
And he's a playmaker.
Yeah.
The most important quality a quarterback could have in today's NFL, you got to be a playmaker. You have to. You have to be a playmaker. When things break down, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Make something out of nothing. Watson's great at it. Watson's phenomenal at it. Mahomes, great at it. Wilson has the potential to be that guy. He had, and people hang on, oh, he lost to Coastal Carolina, the other ranked team he played. You know, what does that show? Okay. A little background on that game. They played Coastal Carolina on a couple days rest. A couple days notice, I'm sorry. They played Coastal Carolina on a couple days notice. You know, that's not easy. And they were down 5 points. 35 seconds left, 2nd and 19. He's scrambling in his own end zone, trying to make something out of nothing. Throws a 40-yard throw to his receiver. Perfect ball where the receiver could high point that ball. Brought it down and led them. 35 seconds left, all the way down the field. And he threw a great ball on the 18-yard line to his receiver and got tackled on the 1-yard line. That's just bad luck.
And would you say that was his worst game this past season?
It was his worst game for him. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, a game like that where it comes down to on the 1-yard line, that's a pretty good
with 35 seconds left, he led his team all the way down the field.
99 yards.
What wasn't 99 yards, but he was scrambling his own end zone with 35 seconds left.
Gotcha.
And brought him all the way down. And guys, the receiver got tackled at the 1-yard line. It happens, it happens sometimes. But this kid, man, he has so much moxie, poise. I mean, he has it all. He has it all to be great. Does he trust his arm too much at times? Sure. And that kind of scares me because that's Darnold's bad habit. He trusts his arm way too much sometimes. But, this kid is not going to be what Darnold was. Darnold didn't have Robert Salah and Mike LaFleur to lead his team.
It's so different.
Joe Douglas.
An easy offense. It wasn't like each receiver had 3 branch routes. Like a Shanahan offense is going to be easier for a quarterback.
For 100%.
For sure. So I need to bring this up because it's all I'm seeing. I need to know what you think about this. what the hell's going on with, is he a captain? Is he not a captain? Like, could you explain that to the listeners? Like, what the hell is going on?
It doesn't matter.
I love that.
It doesn't matter. Why does that matter if he's a captain or not? That's just people trying to find narratives. People trying to find things wrong. It's lazy. It's lazy. Don't say, oh, he wasn't a captain. Ask his teammates. See what his teammates did. I'll take that. That'll mean more to me than saying he didn't have a C on his jersey.
That's true. That's true. 100%.
Who cares?
It's 100%.
People are ridiculous with that, man. I mean,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
So you're all in.
Yeah, I'm all in on Zach Wilson.
You're-
I've been all in. Our producer Rob and I were talking about it in December. We were like, the pick is Zach Wilson. There's no doubt about it.
And you know, I swear on anything. I went into this where it's like I didn't really have an opinion made on a lot of these college quarterbacks, and like I didn't even want to look at Lawrence stuff. I didn't want to be like upset because, like I said, it is what it is. So I didn't even look at his stuff.
That was a dark day.
I didn't even terrible, worst day maybe ever for the season. But again, it is what it is,
That is
and
what we
we're
call
still in a
pain.
great spot. But I looked at everything, and like all I heard, like you and Rob were talking about, like, oh, Zach Wilson. I'm like, well, let me look and form my own opinion. Dude, you're 100% right, man.
He's the guy.
You are 100% right.
He's the guy. And people will try to say, oh, he had an amazing O-line. Oh, he had no competition. Just watch him in the pocket. Just watch him. Watch his anticipation throws.
It's sick.
He throws guys
It's
open.
sick.
Even when like you're like, what? Where did he see that guy? Even throws that like make you question. He completes them. Like, okay. I mean, you should have thrown that ball, but I'm happy it worked.
And he gets it. And that, listen, for a fan like me, like, yeah, I get it. Like, you want a guy to go through his reads. You want him to go 1, 2, but
and he's also mobile. Did I
but-
mention that? He's mobile.
But
he's
at
good legs.
And at a certain point in time, I was going to say in today's NFL, it's like, if you could just pick something up and you understand, like, hey, your 1's not there, and you quickly just go to your 4 or whatever. Like, I don't care. Just get it done in today's NFL.
Yep.
And it seems like he has the confidence, probably the cockiness, to just get
you
it
have,
done
you
sometimes.
have to be cocky. You have to be confident in what you do.
I saw one clip of him, and it drove me nuts because I literally, like, I had to pause it. I'm like, dude, this is Sam Darnold. Like, I don't know what he was thinking. It was like there was this play where it was a screen pass, and he tried to do this no look shuffle pass on his own 10-yard line that almost got picked off. But I think that's something, again, it's a dumb mistake from that a cocky kid makes at that point in time. But I trust Saleh and the team to be like, no,
They'll fix it.
You're
They'll
not
fix
doing
it.
this.
They'll fix it.
And that's why I'm comfortable. Like, I'd rather a quarterback have anticipation coming out of the draft and being a little bit cocky, because you can coach that. You can't coach a guy like Justin Fields too much where it's like, hey, like stop staring down and being late when they're wide open, because again, that's the Darnold issue too. And 3 years later, they haven't coached it properly. Yeah, I get it. It might be Gase, but like I don't want to see that again. Is where I'm coming from. I'd rather a quarterback with a different issue,
Right.
and throw the ball with confidence instead of like your 1 is wide open, you look him off and throw it in triple coverage.
Yeah, but for me,
Wilson's not doing
this
that.
kid Wilson, he's the one. He's the one. He's gonna fit. He's
So-
gonna fit. Even if like let's say he's not as good as we think, he's still gonna fit the offense. He's done a lot of play action. He's the most successful quarterback in college football this past season in play action when it comes to completions and passer rating and touchdowns. This is the guy.
And his play is phenomenal, which I think
That's what I said, play action.
No, phenomenal, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying like on the Jets' offense and what they're doing, like they seem like it marries too well. I'm unconsciously
You gotta
optimistic.
get this kid. You gotta get this kid. If I'm the Jets, I'm saying we're not taking any more calls. Number 2, Zach Wilson's our guy. Take the best offer for Darnold, and we'll see in September.
Right.
You know.
And I got to bring this up. I know, like, I'm not saying it in a way for the Jets. I just want your opinion on it, right? Because I thought it was interesting. The Chris Sims thing, I get, like, he's probably been the most accurate guy to come out with his mock drafts and all of that stuff. My question to you, again, not necessarily for the Jets. I'm just curious what your opinion is from a football fan's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's wild that he had Zach Wilson 1 and then Lawrence 2?
Apparently,
shocked.
it's not as uncommon as we think.
Really?
NFL GMs like a
Really?
lot of people are really high on him.
I wonder if it's just a media thing.
I mean,
why
to me,
Lawrence-
as much as I love this kid Zach Wilson, I mean Trevor Lawrence, he's one of one. He's the once in a generation. He's the John Elway.
So you still
he's
have
the Peyton Manning. He's the Andrew Luck. This is that guy comes around once every 10, 15 years, and you just gotta say Urban Meyer took the job in Jacksonville only because of Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
I mean, this is the guy.
No, right, but what I love is that Chris Sims has been accurate, the most accurate, and
With
of
quarterbacks,
course,
with
quarterbacks. And I know no one's batting 1,000 here.
No.
But he said that there's an actual gap between Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence.
No,
He thinks Wilson is.
I think he's just trying to make waves. I think he's just trying to get his name, more out there, and with a hot take.
But as a Jet fan who knows we're not getting Lawrence, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great to us, but
I love it, man.
I'm not buying much into that because I just think Trevor Lawrence is a freak. But I hope he's right. I hope he's right in every way. He also, I hope Zach Wilson's just the guy, man. I hope they take him, and I hope they give him the reins right away.
Yeah.
Say you're the quarterback. It's your show, buddy.
So he comes in. He's starting week 1.
Who else is there?
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
going to trade away Darnold.
And that's a guy that, again, it seems like he has the confidence in him. So I'm not saying other quarterbacks don't, just like the way he has a presence on the field, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like I don't want to say this because people are going to take it in a negative way, but like I had a weird, I was watching some of the stuff, kind of Baker Mayfield-ish, kind of like, not cockiness of Baker. I think his comes across a little bit differently, but just that confidence where it's like,
I see that.
They're going to, I don't know. I just got that vibe from him. Not in a bad way. I'm not slandering Baker.
I could see that for sure.
Who's his comp to you? Who would you say his comp is to you?
I don't know.
Because I'm hearing Pat Mahomes. I'm hearing Aaron Rodgers. I don't know.
That's high praise. I'm not ready to do that yet. I see what people are saying Aaron Rodgers when he's in the pocket, how easy the ball comes out of his hand, how easy all the throws are for him. I kind of see a less mobile Kyler Murray, kind of.
Interesting. All right. Yeah.
Because he's very mobile. He makes all the throws. But no one's Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is the 4th most elusive running back in football probably right now.
No,
running back.
100%. 100%.
This guy is special in a different way. So I kind of see more of a Kyler Murray type, just less mobile. But that's not really a knock on him. That's just Kyler Murray's a one-of-one type athlete.
And I'm assuming you're not worried about his stature and his him being short.
No.
I think
he's not short. He's like 6'3". People think he's small. He's small.
People were
he's not small.
I heard someone say, "Oh, he's not 6'3". He's like 6'2" and 3/4". Like, come on, bro. What are we doing?
Okay,
here?
look at Kyler Murray. Look at Russell Wilson. Look at Drew Brees.
Right. And then I heard someone say, "Oh, he can't be 210 pounds. He's got to be maybe 200." It's okay, he can bulk up a little bit. Yeah, if that's what you're worried about. Just eat a little bit more.
It's just so stupid, the things that people come up with, man. The eye test. Look at him, and what do you think? He looks pretty damn good to me.
I agree.
He looks pretty damn good. Give the kid a chance, and I'm so scared the Jets are going to stay with Darnold because it's a safe move. But
I don't think. See, that's the thing. I don't think it's a safe. Listen, Joe Douglas, I feel like he got a free pass, obviously, his first year because he didn't draft anyone.
Right.
Then the second year, it's everyone blamed Adam Gase. Now, all of a sudden, if the Jets have a bad year, Joe Douglas, you're in year 3.
Yeah.
That, I don't think keeping Donald's a safe choice. I actually think the safe choice is drafting someone because you could say, hey, it's a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
I really think... I think that Douglas and Saleh are praising up Darnold just to get a little bit more value from him.
Yeah.
I think they know.
And Douglas came out this week saying, I'm listening to offers for Darnold.
Oh,
I'm listening to offers.
I couldn't believe he said that. I couldn't believe it.
That got me a little more, hyped, I would say. Maybe they might get Wilson now or another quarterback they believe in.
You got to think, this is the same guy that said, right when he first started, some players are untouchable like Sam Darnold. Mentioned him. This is the same guy that called Sam Darnold's parents and said, hey, we're going to protect your quarterback. Your son, we're going to get you an O-line. We're going to do the right thing. And now all of a sudden he's like, we're listening to calls. That's a big statement. I think the writing's on the wall. I think everyone knows. I agree. The Jet fan inside of me is nervous they're going to keep him. But if you look at the the facts are what they are. And I think it's the safer move for Douglas to get a rookie quarterback because Saleh and him have that as their backup. Where you have a bad year, it's we had a rookie quarterback. He made rookie mistakes. You got to give it some time to go through the process.
Yeah.
Whereas you have Sam Darnold, they have a bad year, then people start questioning Douglas's decision making, and no one's going to question his decision making if they get a quarterback, especially Zach Wilson, where it seems like everyone knows that's the guy that fits your system the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's safe to say that you and I are both, if you're drafting someone, which we both think is the right move, I think we're both not, all in on Watson. I think you and I both are Zach Wilson.
Pro Wilson.
Yeah, all day long. I really think so.
I think Wilson's the guy. You got to go get this kid. If he's there, you got to go get him. I really think he has all the potential in the world to be a star in this league. He's the guy. Just watch him. Just watch that last drive against Coastal Carolina. Look at the moxie. Look at the poise. Look at the arm talent. This is the guy.
And he throws from so many different angles.
And let me tell you something. Yeah, he's just very true. Let me tell you something about this kid. At every level, little league, high school, the pros, college, all of it, you have to have one key attribute: the will to win. And
Absolutely.
This kid has that will to win. Like I said, watch that last drive against Coastal Carolina. Did he win? No, but he gave his team every chance to win that game. Sometimes it happens in football. It does. Pat Mahomes lost this year. He's the best quarterback in football. You know, it happens.
No,
you're not going to win every time.
And listen, like I said, if your worst game comes down to you going essentially down the entire field and you're on the 1 yard line and you gave your team a chance like that, and you don't, I know people say it a lot, but like you don't give up, and you think about it, with that little time left on that end of the field, it's like, okay.
And you're in another team stadium. It's an away game.
On the road.
On the road on like 2 or 3 days notice.
That's sick.
I mean, against a ranked team. Coastal Carolina wasn't a team, that just roll over. They're a ranked team. That means a lot, and people have to take that into consideration when we talk about that game. And I really love this kid, man. I really love him. I think he's the guy. He's for sure the guy Jets have to go get. For me, if it was me, if I was Joe Douglas, I'm not even taking calls. Number 2 anymore. I'm taking the guy.
Listen, I don't want to hammer it too much. I agree with you. Zach Wilson's the guy. I think that's it. I think we went through a lot of options. The Jets have a lot of options. I'm excited to see what happens, man. I mean, there might be other trades that affect certain things here, but as it stands right now, Zach Wilson's the guy. You and I are all in on him. It's exciting, man. It's an exciting time to be a Jet fan. Guys, we have some optimism.
Scary.
We have everyone,
Scary.
be a little cautiously optimistic. We're Jet fans at the end of the day.
Yep.
But guys, this is a fun time. This is a fun time to be a Jet fan. It's a fun time to be a part of Jets banter. This is going to be great, guys. Listen, we're going to break down more in the future.
And please follow us on Jets Banter on our Instagram, our Twitter. We're all over the place.
Yes, at Jets Banter. It's just at Jets Banter. Twitter, like you said, Instagram. We're going to get a YouTube going eventually.
Yep.
We're going to be all over. We're going to do a lot of cool
And when
things.
we put videos up, comment. Tell us what you like, what you dislike, what you want us to work on, what you want us to do. We're open to everything. We want to make this work.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're just two diehard Jet fans. We want to know what you guys think. We want to get some cool conversations going. We want to be a part of the community and see what's going on, see what you guys think. And we have a lot of cool segments that we're thinking about during the year. But
for sure.
Listen, it's going to be fun in the off season.
Thanks to everyone who's listened to our first podcast, and hope you come back for the next one, the one after that, and the one after that, and hopefully it becomes a consistent thing.
Oh, absolutely. I think the next one we're gonna break down
probably free agency, what the Jets should do in free agency. That's probably the next step we're gonna next podcast we're gonna work on,
and then eventually later rounds of the draft, and then
listen, we'll get into it.
For all we know, maybe Joe Douglas makes a splash and gets Watson, maybe. So listen, we're gonna react. Hopefully not, but we're gonna react to all that. We're gonna have awesome stuff in the future, and thank you everyone for coming along for the first podcast. I had a blast, and listen, I'm getting a little hungry now, so let's go get a goddamn snack.